What's going on today? We have the developers behind a new NFT coin project, crypto project called collectcoin from Monaco Market. And we got the developers here, Rainer, Paul, and Nick, and we will be shaking them down and figuring out, hey, are you guys scammers? Or are you guys a legit team with a legit project that we could sink our hard-earned money and time into? If you're new to this channel, my name is Aaron. I'm on a journey to as many Bitcoin as I possibly can get. I'm having babies. I'm trying to have a Bitcoin per baby. You know what I'm saying? Just to give it out, buy themselves a spaceship or something. But I want to help you to your first Bitcoin as well. And I am not your financial advisor. This is never financial advice. I'm just a cowboy with a lizard brain, gorilla arm, diamond hands, exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency with a whole bunch of other cowboys. If you want to join me, hit the subscribe button down below. Join us in the Saloon. That's the Telegram channel where we're always talking. In my opinion, I think the number one thing you could do for yourself when trading crypto is not do it alone. You need someone to calm your nervous Nancy anxiety down when Bitcoin's crashing, or if something's going crazy, you don't FOMO in. And you just need that kind of research beside you, that asset beside you in people. Now, when I investigate in different crypto projects, I'm like you, I'm going on YouTube. And what I found is that there's a whole bunch of YouTubers out. There's a lot of YouTubers that are great, like Coin Bureau and all that. They're great. But there's some YouTubers who just get paid to just go over a website, don't even tell us they're getting paid. And we don't know if they actually think this is a good project or not. They're just getting paid. The developers aren't happy because they're not excited about it. The people aren't, the viewer like you and me, we're not happy because we get lackluster information. But when we do a developer interview, I'm able to just get belly to belly, face to face, eye to eye, and say, hey, what is it with you? Are you guys, are you guys something that I could spend my hard-earned, little bit of money, my shrinking money because of the inflation that's going on, that I could spend my money into? And so we have the developers behind collectcoin here, Nick, Rainer, and Paul. Welcome to the hot seat.
Right.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hello. Nice to have you.
Glad to have you guys. You guys are looking handsome. You guys are sharp. You guys are dialed in with me. I'm excited for this interview. Now, before we get into collectcoin, I want to know a little bit about you guys. So maybe we'll start with Paul. Paul, can you tell me a little bit about your background in coming into crypto? Maybe a 2-sentence synopsis here.
Of course. I've been aware and investing into Bitcoin since 2013 when I was living in California running a tech startup at that time with Nick, actually. My background is in finance, but more recently I have been working in technology, and I've been selling things on eBay since the beginning, when you could buy things with money orders and mail people cash.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing some of that background is going to come into play here. Rainer, what about you? What's going on? How'd you come into crypto?
Into crypto? Oh, yeah. First time when I bought my first VPN to keep anonymous with Bitcoin. My first Bitcoin, I spent it for a VPN. What a terrible waste! But since then, I've been interested in Ethereum, working and programming smart contracts. All the time since the first books could be bought. Yeah.
Awesome. And Nick, how about yourself? What brings you to crypto?
Sure. Real quick, my background is in more of the product design, UX, and branding. Over the years, I've done a lot of work for all types of clients, big and small, blue chip, all the way to startups. I work with founders throughout the Bay Area, and having kind of firsthand experience working on startups, and as well as having some startup experience as well myself. Specifically with crypto, I've actually been involved on and off since 2017 on a few big projects. At that time, they were small. Now they're well known. Can name or not, but anyways, yeah.
What's the name of those projects?
I work with EOS and Block One.
Wow, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I know a guy who used to work with EOS, and now he's developed another blockchain all himself, but we can talk about that a little later. So just to kind of recap for people, Paul, looks like you were in finance. It sounds like you're kind of the a project manager within all of this. You brought in the eBay aspect of it with selling and online and stuff like that. And then Rainer, you looks like you're into the programming, and Nick, you looks like you're into branding and marketing, UX, and all that kind of stuff. It sounds about. I'm sure you guys wear a lot of hats in startups, but that's about the general areas. So, guys, tell me about collectcoin. How does that integrate with this Monaco market? What are you guys trying to accomplish? What's going on here?
Of course. So collectcoin is going to be the utility token for the Monaco market. Initially, it's going to be just a way that individuals can pay their fees, the sellers. But ultimately, we're going to have an ever increasing pricing threshold where collectcoin will become the dominant coin in the marketplace. So for us, it's about making sure there's enough liquidity, there's enough, you know, coins out there and value so that when someone comes on our marketplace, they can actually buy enough coins to buy the items that we're offering on the marketplace.
So are you saying? So maybe I should ask, what is Monaco Market then?
Oh, of course, of course. Monaco Market is going to be a curated NFT marketplace where each NFT represents a real world collectible. We are going to be intaking each of these items, storing them, cataloging them, and authenticating them prior to the mint of the NFTs. Then we mint the NFT and then we make it available for sale on the Monaco Market. And individuals may buy that asset and then they may sell it to someone else, or they can redeem the NFT and get the item from us.
Holy crap. Okay, so let me try to get this straight here because I think you're answering a lot of my questions about going into NFTs. I'm a real big NFT speculator, non-believer
Sure.
even to that point. So you're saying Monaco Market is an NFT marketplace that you will manage, and it's the currency, the governance, or the currency within it is collect coin. And you will
Yes.
be storing, cataloging, and authenticating real world items, turning them into tokens, non fungible tokens,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then selling those on the marketplace where people can use collect
Yes.
coin to buy those tokens. And then, like a bank, or at least back in the day, if you had gold, go to, I guess, the Monaco market, or you ship it or something. I would guess you ship it.
It's all
Okay,
shipping,
yeah,
you
you
know,
ship
like
it.
I don't think anyone can get into the vault.
Right, right.
There's some
Yeah,
security.
yeah. You ship it. You ship it to them if they want that thing.
Yes.
Interesting. Here's my problem. Here's my problem with the NFT space, not with you guys. The NFT space for me was kind of scammy because I was seeing millions of dollars going into a JPEG, and I know people are gonna get on me about this, right? NFT is the future, and blah blah blah, and it is. But for right now, we're selling pixelated pieces of crap for millions of dollars, and there's like to me that doesn't make sense. There's like disconnect in my brain. But what you're saying here is that, hey, NFTs can not only just be JPEGs, but can actually be redeemable for an actual real world item. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You're trying to bring
Yes.
NFTs and try to, from the digital world, and make it into a physical thing. So if I wanted to sell my cowboy hat, collector's item, $1 million, one of its kind, even though you could go on Amazon and pick it up, but I sign it, right? So do I ship it to you?
So yes, so the first thing you would do is you would submit essentially an application that gives us some information about the item, some photographs about the item. Because once you do send it to us, we have to compare the item that you've sent to us with what you've said you've sent to us, and make sure that that corroborates. And then we have to find the best crypto cowboy signature authenticator that we can find. Make sure it is in fact Aaron's
Mm-hmm.
signature, and then once we've verified that, then we mint the NFT and make the item available in your wallet. Now, what you decide to do thereafter, you can hold it, you can offer it for sale, or no, well, just those two things. Or if you want at a later time, you can say, you know what, I want my hat back. Send me my hat, and you can redeem the NFT and get your hat back.
Okay, so yeah, so I then I send it to you. So you would need a location, a physical location here, right? I mean, obviously.
Yes, yes.
How does I'm seeing you physical or location. I'm seeing a lot of overhead. How do you plan on paying for the overhead
Mhm.
of all this kind of stuff?
Of course. So, this entire business is built on relationships. There are existing partners that operate in these spaces, whether it's dealers that are already selling watches or handbags or trading cards. They're going to be the ones that are helping to, we source the items from them and we're going to be offering it uh, on our marketplace. And then in terms of the storage, that was a huge concern. We were talking to big vaulting partners like Brinks that are extremely expensive, but we have actually found a company that exists in the market right now. We can't share it just yet because we're a new company. They don't want to disclose this just yet. As we get closer to the launch of the marketplace and we're sending them and onboarding partners, then we'll be able to have a large press release and talk about exactly the relationship. But they're going to be facilitating the vaulting, the insurance, intake, storage, and shipping of the item if you decide that you want to redeem the
Okay.
NFTs.
So I got questions for Nick about the future of this thing. I've got questions for Rainer about how does this all work. But for right now, I want to ask the big question: why are you doing it like this? Why isn't the current way of doing NFTs good enough? And why are you doing it like this, real world assets?
I would say two reasons. The first thing, so my background has been selling so many high valued items for, 20 years, about 20 years now. So it's the fraud. Right now, the industry at large is moving to this business model where there's always a central arbiter. There's always going to be somebody in the middle making sure that the seller gets protected and the buyer gets protected. But because there's one-on-one sales, every time you have to send the item, they get the item, there are all these fees related to the authentication, they have to charge high fees. eBay has gone up to 15% for handbags, watches, and certain trading cards. And then you have places like Christie's and Sotheby's that do even higher end items, much of the same things, and they charge upwards of 25%.
Wow.
But what we can do is allow the items are vaulted, the NFTs represent the item. You can buy the item, you can own the item, and at a later time, you're probably going to sell the item. A lot of my customers, when I was selling handbags, are men that just buy these items, put them in a storage room, and then a couple of years later, they're going to sell it. They're not wearing these things, they're still brand new. So now we're allowing for you not to have any of the storage, allow you to trade this effortlessly.
Wow.
And in the NFT space, we're not assigning something like a JPEG that has momentary hype. And maybe you can make some money because somebody's like, you know what? This next guy is going to hold the bag. I made my money. Then that guy's saying the same thing. These items have heritage. They have huge markets. They have incredible demand. So we curate these items and it's data driven. We find the items that historically have a limited quantity and have demand where individuals want to collect them, and not just anything. Because as much as we want to sell your hat, we want to be able to sell items that have great demand in spaces like trading cards, handbags, watches, fine art, and even exotic cars, because everybody wants to know when Lambo.
Sure. So okay, so I see a pitfall here. Maybe you could answer for me.
Yes.
Say I want to hold on to it for 2 years. Where does the fee come out from? That's going to drain your bank account for renting your space or with your partner. I hold a Lambo with you guys. You need a big space. You need it to be secure.
So, okay, so let me take a step back for a second. Lambos will not be stored. There's certain things that the trading cards, the pop culture items, handbags, watches, those will be stored. Jewelry, fine art, those will be stored. No cars.
Okay.
No, not in the beginning. If we do a car, it's going to be a tokenized car working with an exotic car dealer. He's going to facilitate the storage until you buy, and then you must redeem the NFT.
Okay.
You must take delivery, unless it's we are talking to someone that can essentially store it, but that's going to be a
down the
different
line.
expense. So
It's down the line.
yeah, exactly. So like depending on the vertical is going to depend how the transaction flow
Sure,
operates.
but either way, if I want to store, let's say, 10 pieces of jewelry that is valued at, let's say, $100,000 a piece. And the reason why I ask this is in my brain, I've got my uncle's a jewelry salesperson, or he owns his own jewelry company. And so he deals with a lot of diamonds and all that kind of stuff. If he wants to sell that kind of stuff, or if he wants to hold it somewhere, there's still a drain in storage fees, right?
Of course.
But I'm guessing you only make the money when you sell, right?
Every time it's sold.
Every time, okay.
So if you own the NFT and you sell it, a transaction fee is generated.
Okay.
If the next guy sells it, a transaction fee is generated. If you decide you just want to hold it for that entire time, our storage partner is trying to essentially offer vaulting as a service, and they're willing to essentially charge us no fees because they really like what we're doing, and that's wonderful for us that we're able to find this partner to be able to vault these items. Now, space sensitive,
Sure.
obviously. Like even when it comes to fine art, if it's a giant mural, that might be a little bit difficult, both in terms of storage, shipping, and things like that. That's why we harp on the fact that everything is
Okay.
curated.
Okay. So yeah, so you're picking, but yeah, I'm not going to harp on this too much, but it is a little bit of a concern of mine because even if you've got a sweet deal with another person, that can only last for so long. The more your business growth, you're going to have to pay them more. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you'll adjust your tokenomics or however way that'll work. You'll change the rates or the fees. So I kind of see how that's going. Now, talk to me about how it works, Rainer. Am I doing this off of like an app you're providing? Am I how, how does this all work? Give me the nuts and bolts of it.
Well, basically, the core of it is smart or several smart contracts on the Binance Smart Chain blockchain. We started on the Binance blockchain because we wanted to stay as close as possible to Ethereum at the moment, due to all the available DeFi protocols that probably could help NFT holders in the future. Um, and well, the user will connect to those contracts via a web application. In the beginning,
Okay.
we've got a web application for desktop, and we've got a web application that is well responsive and mobile friendly, so you can both browse the catalog, buy and sell with your mobile phone or with your desktop. Yeah.
Gotcha. So okay, I get it. Now, how far are we out from having? Is this out already? Beta version, alpha version?
Paul says winter. So there's
Okay.
Yeah.
no application, no alpha. There's an alpha actually, well hidden, and a public beta. We're thinking of winter. This is what we are currently planning. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you
Yes.
don't mind, I can add a little bit. So there's definitely been a lot of effort and time and invested as far as this team goes. The designing of the application, we've already have a pretty big leg start on the development. So it's all happening behind the scenes. But as far as really making sure that it's ready to go and getting the right items that are curated, it's going to take probably at least a few more months into the winter. We're looking to launch, and Paul maybe.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
fantastic, actually. You know what I mean? Like to be, let's say Q1 of 2022. That I mean, if with a beta version, that sounds great. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I just want to know how far out this is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where when people are trying to sell stuff, when the market's going crazy, when we're trying to find a project to invest in, I want to know, hey, when can I see like some possible catalyst returns on my investment here, and all that. So, give me the ideal situation here. Then, what's the best use of this? Who's your person that you're trying to target with what kind of product? Give me the ideal situation here of how to use, collect coin and Monaco market.
I think it's largely for individuals that want to buy these items. They have cryptocurrency already. There aren't a lot of options out there to be able to spend your coin necessarily, and there definitely isn't anything that exists that has such a low fee structure, one, and where there's a central arbiter that's protecting both the buyer and the seller. That's really the core of this, is to prevent people from getting scammed, because so often individuals, either the buyers or the sellers, have other intentions, and the buyers don't get what they paid for, or the sellers, they get a chargeback because the person says, "Oh, I didn't get what they wanted," or "Oh, it's different," or what have you. By having a central body, you can guarantee that they get what they paid for, and they get paid for what they've sold.
Okay. So, so talk to me about like the future of NFTs, man. This is probably more meta, but you guys can give me like your kind of feedback. Where is this? Where NFTs are going? Is this like because it seems like to me your competitors is not OpenSea or Rarible. Your competitor is eBay, and
Or Sotheby's or Christie's, something like
sure,
that.
sure. So tell me about the future of where you see the future of NFTs. Where's it going? And how do you guys fit into all that?
I would say that in time, the market in general has to mature. Like you've got, again, just like you said, JPEGs, GIFs that are selling for so much money because of momentary hype. But we see a really great opportunity to apply the use case of having the NFTs represent providence, represent ownership in these items, so individuals can more freely trade them. You have people in certain parts of the world that cannot possibly imagine having one of these things shipped to them. Maybe they don't live in a secure place. Maybe it's just, it doesn't make sense for them. But there are items that are not geared toward individuals. Like, I go back to handbags as an example because I've really been exposed to that on a really massive scale, where some of my customers are men that just want to buy these items strictly for the purpose of investment. They want to buy them, they want to hold them for a specific amount of time, and then they'll sell them. And then now, because of the high fees that exist on a lot of these other marketplaces, it's inhibited their ability to even sell there. So now you've got people relegated to social media, doing direct transactions with people. You don't know who you can trust. Maybe the seller has a perfect rating, but the buyer, you don't know anything about them. So now you're able to send the funds, get the NFT, and when you want, you can get the item if you want.
Okay. So one thing I see is like is maybe like just question in my mind now is you kind of operate as like a remote safety deposit box, right?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
kind of also how you're operating now. Whatever the price is on that token, that's where you make the difference in the profits. That's where everyone makes their money. But what you're doing is you're offering a remote safety deposit box um, that people can interact with and then kind of ship. To me, wouldn't it what's preventing someone from saying, hey, I don't trust it? How do you overcome this objection? I don't trust you guys. I don't know you guys from anywhere. I could go to my bank and see the bar doors closed behind my safety deposit box and the guard that's sitting there. Like, how are you guys going to overcome that stigma in their brain that I can't see it, there's no security?
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of the processes that, let's say, a bank vault is so antiquated. If that item is there, you have to go there, you have to get it, you have to put it up for sale,
Mhm.
if you want to trade it. Whereas we're providing a marketplace for you to easily be able to trade these items. And furthermore, when the items are listed, we show where it's sourced from. I mentioned before that this business is built on relationships. The dealers themselves, they will be exposed. You're going to know where this came from, which watch dealer, which handbag dealer, who are these people that provided the items to us. So there's a sense of trust there. We're not just going to be accepting anything from anybody, especially in the beginning. You can only really deal with really trusted parties, so that, well, one, we know that there's the lowest friction when it comes to getting the items in, being able to scale up quickly, and then we have to do third party authentication anyway. As this gets bigger, and then you're going to have individuals that want to do one offs, that's when it's going to become more challenging. But at that time, our expectation is to grow to the point where we could facilitate that.
Okay.
But initially, it's going to be like an enterprise solution where sellers that are already doing significant volume can now sell their items in a centralized marketplace where they know they won't get scammed for these items. And look, they're not going to offer their entire collection. Some individuals might just want to offer a few items until they see the success.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I had a different mindset on where this would be. Like, to me, it was like I've got a painting, right? I'm an artist and I've got a painting. I want to sell it, and it's this massive
Sure.
painting, and I could send it to you. It's just one thing, right? It would just me. But you keep bringing up the handbags, which makes me think of it differently. This could be a way that a business runs, right? I'm buying up all these
Absolutely.
handbags. I'm selling them all. So that again brings in the storage question, right? How many handbags are there going to be? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure. No, absolutely. Look, the opportunity is large. There are some items that are going to be this big, and there's some items that are going to be bigger. I expect a significant part of our holdings to be trading cards that are this
yeah.
small. And you're going to be able to store a significant amount of those items, and pop culture items, expanding into sneakers. But obviously, again, it's all in the curation, making sure that we have the items that people want, that there is a demand for, and in time trying to figure out what items are typically redeemed and what items just keep
How
circulating.
does
But
Who does the
I'm sorry.
curation? How does that work?
a lot of it I think is going to come from us working with the sellers themselves. Like I mentioned before, my space is handbags, watches, and a little bit of sneakers. I did it a lot more in high school, and now you kind of move into other things. But the sellers themselves, they have the knowledge and understanding of what is the most hyped item right now. What do you want to offer? What are the items that makes the most sense to offer? We don't necessarily want to sell, let's say, a trading card that's worth $10, but at the same time, we don't want to only have trading cards that are worth $1 million, because you have to be able to serve the market, serve your
Yeah.
users, our collectors.
Yeah. I guess that's for you to figure out as you're going along, though, right? Like you're trying to.
Yes, yes,
So, like, say you strike a deal with, say, Justin Bieber, and he signs his sweater, and he wants to use you guys. So, yeah, I want to sell this on Monaco Market. I'm sure you guys would hop on that, right? Just
well,
of course, right?
of
But
course.
then,
I mean, more realistically, though, it would be like an entertainment memorabilia dealer that we would be dealing with that would provide us with that Justin Bieber sweater
mhm.
versus like a one-off deal with Justin Bieber. Now, don't
Yeah,
get me
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
Justin, if you see
Sure,
this, let us
sure,
know.
sure, sure,
Contact us.
sure. Well, I know that, like, let's say movies can sell their memorabilia on set or whatever, and so
Yes.
help me to understand this, Nick. Where are you guys? Where do you paint for me the perfect picture for collect coin here? How would you guys want if like let's say 5 months, 6 months from now, 6 months from now, what is your ideal situation for collect coin in Monaco Market?
Yeah, I mean, so the two go hand in hand in terms of the application and the utility of the coin. So people will be able to buy and sell items with our coin on the marketplace, among others. Maybe Paul, you can add to that. So.
I would say, we would have a wide array of different options in the respective verticals that we're operating in. These items will be vaulted and there will be trading already happening. 6 months from now, that's April of next year. At that point, we're going to have fixed price listings with best offers and the expectation that individuals, if they desire, they can have an auction as well.
Do you guys have any partnerships working right now with anyone, like, how to get started? Like, how are you guys starting with your initial network here?
Absolutely. So, just to give you an idea, this is something that we just hatched up yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We've been working on this all year, actually. And the first thing that we did was approach these individuals, make sure that they want to do this and they understand the opportunity. Now, thankfully, you've got a company like BitPay who's going out there and kind of talking to dealers already and letting them know that, as an invoicing service, if you have a customer that wants to pay you in crypto, you can use our service. However, you're going to have to find that seller. And then BitPay comes in at the end and then they issue an invoice. What we're doing is providing an ecosystem where you can offer those items for sale and you can buy and sell them and trade them, if you
Yeah.
wish. So by that time, that's our expectation, to have a full-blown marketplace launched with vaulted items and have active participants in the
Right,
marketplace.
right. But my question is, who are the first participants? What are you going to be selling first? Like, say winter comes, I don't even know where to start. Is it going to be handbags? Like, where's it? What's it?
I would say trading cards, handbags, watches, those are the three, and sneakers, those are probably the easiest ones to deal with. um we have authentication partners and fine jewelry, but again, like, a big factor of this is not creating huge barriers to entry.
Yeah,
Like, you don't want to only sell really expensive items because we're not fractionalizing these items. When 100 people own something, nobody gets to have
sure.
it. So we want to make sure that you can redeem your NFT and you get to take the item.
Hmm. And you want to be able to take the item, have it in hand. I want my sneakers right here and have it in hand. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. So how does someone get started then? They just go to Monaco Market, they take the pictures of their sneakers, then they ship it off to you, or you have to have an interview with them, or how does that work?
No. So, the initial process is we're going out and finding these individuals, kind of like how, a lot of like crypto YouTube works. If they're messaging you, it's probably not a good
Yeah.
idea. So we go out, we vet these individuals in
Uh-huh.
advance. And then we have a discussion with them, explain to them what the Monaco market is, what we're trying to achieve, and then figure out what kind of items do they want to offer on our platform. Then, obviously, photography, descriptions, they send it in for vaulting, uh, and then we mint the NFTs and offer them for sale. So it's really about making sure that we have the right partners initially, more so than just having everybody come on and just sell anything they
Right.
want.
The partners are a big deal, but then also the sellers. If you have no sellers and you have partners who are trying to sell, you're now storing stuff that no one will buy.
Yes. So I'm sorry. When I say the partners, I do mean the sellers. In terms of the buyers, I would say the buyers are individuals that have crypto that maybe they want to add maybe a watch or one of these other assets to their portfolio. They don't want to deal with the physical storage. They want to have their wallet on their phone and know they have all of their items there and just know that it's securely stored somewhere.
Do you think it's a problem that your niche is your niche pretty small here? Because I'm seeing a very, very small niche now. I'm seeing someone who wants to buy handbags and collectible handbags and must be into crypto, right? That's got to be like a small group of people.
So I've been working in alternative assets for several years, and I'll tell you that some of the people that you think would never want to buy these things, they buy them for the investment
Okay.
quality. If you invest into, look, it's a bull market right now in crypto and stocks and all of these things, so there's great opportunity there. But these collections, they go up year over year over year and largely outperform the markets over a long period of time. The kinds of items that we're dealing with, they are limited. They and some of these brands also
Mhm.
increase the pricing, so it artificially increases the pricing floor. So it's understanding those things, as well as in trading cards, there's limited populations given different grades, and understanding that a gem 10, maybe there's only
Mhm.
10 of those, whereas a 9.5 that's graded by PSA is, there's a larger population. So it's really making sure that we offer a wide array of items, but they have that investment quality.
Gotcha.
And I will say that I think it was just in the past year, it was a $60 billion market between Christie's and Sotheby's alone. So it's actually
Yes.
quite a big space.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Did
Yes.
not know that. Okay.
Hmm.
So yeah, so you're in a bigger space than I thought you were. So
Hmm.
let me shift gears here. How big is your team to handle all this? Because a lot of it seems like manual labor right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there's the three of us, obviously. We have additional development support, and business development support. So we're an ever growing team. We've
Mhm.
got 6 or 7 people. It is ever expanding. We are building out, and a lot of it's a one-on-one thing. Like when you have a dealer that has a large book of business, you necessarily don't need to have 100 dealers, because sometimes these individuals, they work with each
Mhm.
other. Especially, I'm sure we're in the jewelry space. There are people that will give another jeweler something on a handshake so that they can then sell it,
Yeah.
and that is not uncommon because there's trust. So that's really one of the most important things for us is, doxing ourselves, making sure that people know who we are, so they know that they can trust this
Yeah.
marketplace.
Yeah. For me, say I had like a whole bunch of shoes that I wanted to sell. For me, it would be like, I want to see your vaults, you know? That's the only factor that I don't know about right now. Like, I
Sure.
guess I could have a
Sure.
relationship with you guys. I guess I could, sell it on NFT and trust the blockchain. But for me, it's the vaults and the transportation, right? I mean, like, if I'm shipping I don't know how to ship shoes or like properly. Like I'm sure there's like a proper way to ship shoes or something like that, right? And shipping probably
Sure.
goes up by size and weight and like the types of packaging that has to be maintained. So all of that is wrapped up into the was the 1.5% fee that you guys are charging, right? For
So, yes. So, to answer a couple of things. So, one, you mentioned that you don't know how to package those shoes. Well, the individuals that we're dealing with, they do know how to
okay,
package
okay,
those
okay.
shoes. So maybe right now you're not exactly the person that we would approach to have sell their items on our
Hmm.
platform. And then we would establish best practices so that you do that properly. Um, and also, as we get closer to the launch of the marketplace, we will be able to reveal this vaulting partner, and it will give everyone so much confidence because this is not a small
Yeah,
company.
100%, 100%. Okay, that's good. Good. Now you've got an ICO coming up, right? Or is it already happening?
It's active. We're hoping there's some cowboys that want to cowboy
That's
in.
right. So this is the whole point of the video, guys. If you're watching this video, you've seen the idea, you've seen the team, you kind of get in the general feel of, okay, how does this work? In my opinion, I love the idea. I love the idea that finally there's an attachment to like a real world physical thing, right? It's not exactly how I envisioned it, because right now online you're selling digital works of art and you're selling collections, but here it seems like you're selling like valuables at scale, right? Like that's what it seems like
Yes.
hundreds of handbags or hundreds of shoes, or whatever. Um, so there looks like they're looking for people to buy into the ICO, the initial coin offering. If no one knows what that means, help me out here? How does it start? Give me the details of the ICO here.
So we've built an application on our website, collectco.in. You can go to that website. You'll see the ICO. It's active right now. As of this point, we've sold just under 2 million coins so far. It's just started yesterday. And, we're showing ourselves to as many audiences as possible. The most difficult thing when you're doing something like this is just making sure that people can trust who are these people behind. And we are not anonymous individuals. We've all operated in our respective fields for 10, 15, 20, 25 years,
Thank you.
and we're we're capable, I think, of doing this and achieving what this is. It's not for a lack of knowledge or expertise, and again, building it through our
Got
network.
it. So how do you grow this network? Because to me, this is a network good, right? Like you're gonna the value of the collect coin is going to be based off of how big this network is, how many partners is. So how are you going to build this network out?
I think a lot of it is kind of the same business development strategy that companies like BitPay do. You cold approach individuals that are dominant players and ask them, or rather present them, the opportunity of this brand new audience. The market cap of crypto is $2.5 trillion. And right now, there are only a handful of players that are actually even able to access that. And furthermore, a lot of them are just dealing with Bitcoin, and there are higher fees related to that. We're operating on the Binance Smart Chain right now because the fees are so low.
Yep.
You know that's a big tenet of what we're doing: save the seller's fees, save the buyer's fees, and allow everyone to be able to transact without these barriers.
Now, I'm going to ask you probably a more intimate question here, right?
Mhm.
What is your guys' skin in the game here? How much blood have you guys spilled for this thing? Namely, how much do you guys invested into your own project, time wise, monetary wise, all that kind of stuff?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, the time we've been working on this since
Okay.
February. So it's been over 8 months. I'm working on it. We're basically, we're all working on it around the clock basically at this point. Especially, I'm sure when your Telegram starts getting crazy, you got to be
Yeah.
there. We have some moderators and everything now. We're building out that team because there are some really enthusiastic individuals, but it is about building out the team and making sure that we're able to find those right individuals that want to sell on our platform, that have those items that our community wants. So we are very community driven. We're asking the community, what do you want to see on the marketplace? But also, a lot of this is data driven. What sells? What transacts? What are people, maybe I'm not selling a Mickey Mantle baseball card. Maybe I'm selling a Kobe basketball card, or maybe I'm selling a Shohei Otani a baseball card because he's the popular person right now. It's about making sure that we have the right items for this
Mm-hmm.
audience. And you're probably aware that crypto is largely male dominant. It is largely younger individuals. So understanding your target demo and getting after them.
Right. Yeah. But how much money have you guys invested into collect coin in Monaco market?
We did a seed round in earlier this year. We pitched our idea to our friends and family. It was a private round, and we were able to raise $125,000. We have been using that for the development. We still have a lot of it. Like, we don't get paid. Nobody here makes any
Mm-hmm.
money. We're just working essentially right now, so we still have a large amount of that. We're spending on marketing, obviously the legal incorporation. We have to spend months trying to figure out where can you incorporate a business like this given the current regulations. And to some degree, there are countries where regulations are coming down the pipe and nothing's
Mm-hmm.
happening. So then that process takes time. And let me tell you something, it's not cheap. Lawyers' rates are not,
No.
$20 an
Yeah.
hour. So there are significant expenses that we've had to, go through so far. But all of that is so necessary because when you're talking to the dealer that has all of these items, they need to feel trust. They need to feel like, they need to have a contract that, hey, I'm giving you this item and there's a record of
Yeah.
it. So even though the individuals in our marketplace, they're not dealing with the sellers directly in that sense, we have to do it as the custodians of the items.
Gotcha. Yeah. And how many coins do you guys own as a team?
The founders, we have 15 million, but we don't get any coins for 1 year, and then we're vesting 10% every quarter for 2.5 years. I think it is. It's a slow burn. We've done platforms in the past. You cannot build these things overnight, and projects where the founders vest too quickly, it signals to me that they're just in and out.
Agreed.
We want to build something, and it's gonna look. What we're trying to do is gonna take a
Yeah.
while. To launch the marketplace is one thing. To fill it out and then really fill it
Yeah.
out where you're disruptive, and where someone like Christie's, someone like Sotheby's, they start to really take a look at you and take a look at your business model. It will be a great compliment
Yeah.
when they start to copy
Yeah,
us.
for sure. Try to buy you guys out or anything. Yeah, I hear you.
Hey,
Okay. So can you guys, like, is there anything else on the table that you haven't shared with me that we haven't covered that's like sitting in your belly that you need to tell me? Like anything that we didn't cover that we should cover, anything that someone would be interested or something to be excited about?
I would say the kinds of items that we're going to be offering are the kinds of items that I think your users are going to want. I think some crypto cowboys that have made some wise investments, maybe they might want to spend a couple of those, coins, because when it's sitting in your wallet, it's nice, but when it's sitting on your wrist, maybe it's a little nicer.
Gotcha.
So that element, of course, but also that we encourage, whether you deal with us or you deal in the real world, diversify your portfolio,
Sure.
guys. That's a big factor in this, like allowing people to have access to these items that when the market corrects, they don't go down 90%. These types of assets do not follow traditional markets. They have their own markets, their own demand, their own heritage and history. And that's what we lean on.
Gotcha. So give me, I got two more questions here. What is the next most exciting thing for CollectCoin?
I would say after the ICO launches, the DEX listing, and then when the DEX happens, there's going to be a lot more news that we're going to be able to disclose. Some of the sellers, when I was talking to sellers in May, they're like, okay, cool. When can we get started? Well,
December?
maybe we're 6 months away. Exactly. So some of these people, they tell us, okay, I'm interested. Come back to me in November or come back to me in December, because they want to onboard what they actively have.
Sure.
I can't expect someone to keep an item for 6 months while I build something.
Yeah.
I was a seller myself. And let me tell you something, I think the way they think. So I understand you have to be realistic. When the marketplace is closer to being launched, that's when we're going to know for sure. And that's when we're going to market and let everybody know this is what you can expect. And we're going to have a very deliberate approach in the sense of, what are we going to offer? How are we going to market it? How are we going to arrange these into collections? And what items to prioritize so that our audience feels heard and they buy.
Awesome.
And they trade.
Awesome.
And they redeem.
That's awesome. Guys, thank you so much for an awesome interview. I got one last question left, but before I do, if you're watching this video all the way to the end, I just really want to thank you. Look, I've presented with you these guys who they did not hesitate on any question that I was firing off. Man, it sounds like they've had a lot of experience in tech and startups and all this. And it really does seem like they got their ducks in order here. And if we see like them execute on it, we'll see in a few months here. But it's up to you. If you make money, that's you. You made the money. Don't thank me. Well, you could thank me, but whatever. But if you lose money, don't blame me. You could blame me, but it's all really your fault. So I'm not your financial advisor. The risks are well known in crypto, and if you guys want and you believe in this project and this team, check out their links in the description down below. Head to their Telegram, head to their chat, all that kind of stuff. It's all available for you. Last question for you guys. Look, in a sea full of cryptos, just there's just so many out there. Why should we be investing our small amount in you guys?
We had one of our Telegram participants tell us how they invested $14, and I think that that's really important. That that there are individuals out there that don't have a lot that want to grow with us, and I just think that we're working on something that is vastly different than what anyone is trying to do. It is a huge undertaking. Make no mistake. We realize that. We realize a lot of the challenges. We've been very deliberate about the processes and how this is going to function. This has been very well thought out,
And
So when you see us execute, it's going to be because we had a plan. And then, we're very transparent with the community. If you have a question for any of us, come on the Telegram. Ask us. We're there all the time. One of us will always be there.
Awesome.
and I will add, we want to be a really good use case, a good industry leader in e-commerce on the blockchain, which I think is really lacking. So we are really adamant on just making sure that we can provide good leadership there.
Awesome. Yeah, I've noticed that these e-commerce guys are kind of starting to integrate crypto, but you guys are the first to start with crypto and then move to serve the e-commerce landscape and stuff. So I love it, guys. Thank you guys so much for being in the hot seat. You guys handled yourselves like pros, like real professionals, in my opinion. But hey, look, who cares about my opinion? This is your opinion, okay? If you're watching this video, check out the links in the description down below and make your own decision for yourself. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Lizard Brains, Gorilla Arms, Diamond Hands, Cowboys Ride Together. We'll see you guys on the moon.